Kaito looked out the window of the transport ship as it moved slowly toward the academy. The station was very big. It was round like a ball, and it floated in the middle of empty space. He could see lights blinking all over it. The academy was a place where young beings from many different worlds came to learn. Kaito had arrived here 3 months ago, and he still felt like he did not belong. Kaito was a human. His skin was brown, and his hair was black. He was 23 years old. His father was a diplomat, which meant his father talked to important people from other worlds. Because of his father's job, Kaito had been chosen to come to the academy. The leaders of the human people wanted to show other species that humans were not dangerous. But many species did not trust humans. They thought humans were too emotional and too wild. The academy had many rules. Everything was clean and quiet. The halls were white and gray. Nothing was out of place. Kaito walked through the halls every day, and he saw young beings from many different species. Some looked like birds. Some looked like rocks that could move. Some looked like water that stayed in a body. But the most beautiful ones were the Verdians. The Verdians were tall and made of crystal. They looked like they were made of clear glass, but they could move and think. Inside their bodies, light moved around. Different colors meant different feelings. When a Verdian was happy, their light was bright and yellow. When they were sad, their light was blue and dark. Kaito thought they were the most beautiful things he had ever seen, but the Verdians did not like humans. The older Verdians especially did not want humans here. They said that humans made everything worse. They said humans were too loud and too emotional. They said that being with humans would hurt the young Verdians. The academy leaders had agreed to let Kaito stay, but many Verdians were not happy about it. One young Verdian was different from the others. His name was Raiden. Raiden was not fully grown yet. He was in what the Verdians called the young time, which was like being a teenager. Raiden had been chosen to work near Kaito so that the leaders could watch what happened. The leaders wanted to know if humans could really make Verdians change in bad ways. Raiden was beautiful like all Verdians, but his light was different. His light moved fast and changed colors quickly. Sometimes it was orange, sometimes red. Sometimes it turned almost black. This meant Raiden felt many things at once. He felt confused and scared and angry all at the same time. The other Verdians did not understand why Raiden's light moved like this. They thought something was wrong with him. The problem was that Raiden had to go to training every day. The training was very hard. Older Verdians sat with young Verdians and taught them to make their feelings very small. They taught them that having feelings was like having a sickness. They taught them that the best Verdians were the ones who felt nothing. They taught them that being logical and quiet was the only good way to be. Every day, Raiden went into a training room that was very cold and very quiet. The room had white walls and one small window. A teacher came in and asked Raiden questions about hard things. The teacher asked Raiden about times when he was scared or sad or angry. Then the teacher asked Raiden to make those feelings go away. The teacher wanted Raiden to sit in the middle of the room and be empty inside, but Raiden could not do this. His light would not stop moving. His feelings would not go away. The more the teacher asked him to be empty, the more confused and scared Raiden became. His light would flicker and flash. Sometimes his light would turn almost black, which meant he was very unhappy. The teacher would tell him he was doing it wrong. The teacher would tell him to try again. After the training, Raiden would be very tired. He would walk through the halls slowly. His light would be dim. Kaito watched this every day. Kaito saw that Raiden was hurting. Kaito saw that Raiden. Kaito watched the hall. Kaito watched that Raiden. Kaito wanted to help, but he did not know if Raiden would let him. One day, Kaito was sitting in the observation area. This was a place where humans could watch what the academy was doing. Kaito was reading a book when he saw something that made him stop. He looked up and saw Raiden walking past the big window. Raiden's light was very dim. It was almost gone. Kaito could see that Raiden's body was shaking a little. Kaito stood up and did something he was not supposed to do. He left the observation area and walked into the main halls. He wanted to find Raiden. He wanted to talk to him. He did not know what he would say, but he knew that Raiden needed help. Kaito found Raiden sitting alone in a small room that was not really meant for anyone. Raiden was sitting on the floor. His light was very faint. He looked like he was trying to make himself disappear. "Hello," Kaito said softly. "Are you okay?" Raiden's light flickered. He was surprised to see a human. The young Verdian did not know what to do. Humans were not supposed to talk to young Verdians alone, but something about Kaito's voice was kind and gentle. Raiden's light moved a little stronger. "I am not okay," Raiden said back. His voice was like the sound of wind chimes. "The training is making me feel very broken inside." Kaito sat down on the floor next to Raiden. He was careful to sit a little bit away so that Raiden would not be scared. "I know the training is hard," Kaito said. "I have heard other young ones talk about it. It sounds very difficult. They want me to be empty," Raiden said. His light turned blue and slow. "They say that feeling things is wrong, but when I try to be empty, something inside me hurts. It hurts more than anything I have ever felt." Kaito listened carefully. He did not try to give advice. He just listened, and Raiden kept talking. Raiden talked about how he did not want to be empty. Raiden talked about how he was scared that he would break completely. Raiden talked about wanting to leave the academy and go somewhere where he did not have to pretend to be nothing. Kaito and Raiden talked for a long time. And for the first time in many weeks, Raiden's light became a little bit brighter. It was still worried and still sad, but it was not almost dead anymore. It was alive again. When they finally stopped talking, the sun outside the window had moved across the sky. Kaito knew he needed to go back to his room, and Raiden knew he needed to leave too. But something had changed between them. A small friendship had started to grow. "Thank you for talking to me," Raiden said. "Thank you for letting me listen," Kaito replied. Neither of them knew it yet. But this small moment would change everything. The next days would bring challenges that neither of them could have imagined. But for now, they had each other. And sometimes, that was enough. 3 weeks had passed since Kaito and Raiden first talked. In those 3 weeks, they had become real friends. They met secretly when they could. Kaito would tell Raiden stories about Earth, his home planet. He told Raiden about things that made humans happy, like music and art and food that tasted good. Raiden would listen, and his light would change to different colors. Sometimes it would be yellow and warm. Sometimes it would be green and curious. But the training was getting harder. The teachers noticed that Raiden was not becoming more empty. Instead, Raiden was becoming more full of feelings. They noticed his light was brighter and more alive. They decided that the training needed to be stronger. They said that Raiden needed something different, something more difficult. One day, the training room changed. It was not warm and safe anymore. Now the room was very cold. The walls pressed in closer. The lights were dim and red. The teacher who came was very stern and very serious. This teacher had a hard face and a voice like ice. "You are not learning," the teacher said to Raiden. "Your light is still wild. Your feelings are still too strong. Today, we will try something new. Today, you will sit in the silence chamber. You will sit there for 6 hours. You will try to make your light go completely dark. If you can make your light go dark and stay dark, then you can leave. If you cannot, then you will stay longer. With Klom, with Krom, with Klom, with Klom, with Klom." Raiden was very scared. He had heard about the silence chamber. It was a small box. It was completely dark inside. There was nothing in it. It was very quiet. Young Verdians sometimes went there, but they did not like to talk about it. Everyone came out of the silence chamber, feeling very empty and very lost. The teacher put Raiden inside the silence chamber. The door closed. Everything became black. Raiden could not see anything. Raiden could not hear anything. It was like being inside nothing. It was like being dead. Raiden sat in the darkness and tried to make his light go away. But his light did not want to go away. His light wanted to live. His light wanted to shine. The more Raiden tried to make his light disappear, the more scared he became. His fear made his light move even more wildly. 1 hour passed. Then 2 hours. Raiden's light was getting smaller. He was using all his power to try to make it go away. But he could feel himself breaking. He could feel something inside him breaking like a glass that falls on the ground. After 3 hours, Raiden could not take it anymore. He felt like he was going to break completely. He felt like he would never be whole again. He felt like he was going to disappear forever and never come back. Raiden did something that was very against the rules. He broke out of the silence chamber. He used all his strength and broke through the door. The metal bent and broke. Alarms started making loud noise everywhere. The teacher was very shocked. This had never happened before. A young Verdian had never broken the rules like this. The teacher tried to grab Raiden, but Raiden was too fast. Raiden ran away down the halls. His light was red and bright and very wild. He was running away from everything. At that exact moment, Kaito was in the observation deck. He was looking at the stars outside the window and thinking about his home on Earth. He was missing his family. Then, the alarm started. Red lights began flashing everywhere. A voice said that there was an emergency. A young Verdian was not in the right place. Security was going to find the young Verdian. Kaito knew immediately that it was Raiden. He knew that something very bad had happened. He did not think about what would happen to him. He did not think about the rules. He only thought about helping his friend. Kaito ran to the ventilation system. The ventilation system was a way to move around the academy that was not the main halls. He had learned about it from other students who were also breaking rules. Kaito moved through the ventilation system as fast as he could. He could hear where Raiden was going by listening to the sounds. He could hear Raiden running, and he could hear the security guards chasing him. The academy was very big, with many levels. Raiden ran down and down and down. He ran to the older parts of the academy that nobody used anymore. He ran to the decommissioned sector. This was a place that the academy had used a long time ago, but now it was empty and broken. Nobody went there because it was not safe. There was no light there. There was no heat. It was a dead place. Raiden ran into a large room in the decommissioned sector, and he stopped. He could not run anymore. His light was flickering very fast. His whole body was shaking. He was very scared and very sad, and very angry all at the same time. Kaito finally caught up. He used the ventilation system to come down above the room. He dropped down quietly and carefully. He did not want to scare Raiden more. Raiden was in the corner of the room, and his light was almost white with fear. "Raiden!" Kaito called out. His voice was soft and kind. Raiden saw Kaito, and something changed in his light. He was still scared, but he was not alone anymore. Kaito was there. "You should not be here," Raiden's thought voice said. This was how Verdians communicated sometimes, not with words, but with thoughts that moved through the air like wind. The elders say that humans are dangerous. The elders say that humans break everything. "I am not here to break anything," Kaito said. He showed his hands, so Raiden could see he had no weapons. "I am here because you are my friend, and friends do not leave each other alone when they are hurting." Raiden's light began to move more slowly. It changed from white to light blue. "I ran away," Raiden said. "I broke the silence chamber. I did not do what they wanted me to do. They are going to punish me now. They are going to say that I am broken beyond repair." Kaito sat down on the cold floor. He sat close to Raiden, but not too close. He wanted to be near his friend, but he did not want to make his friend more scared. "You are not broken," Kaito said. You are just learning that there is a part of you that does not want to disappear. There is a part of you that wants to live and be real. That part of you is not broken. That part of you is strong. Raiden looked at Kaito for a long time. Security guards were still searching the halls above them, but they had not found this place yet. In this small dead room in the dead sector, two beings from two different worlds sat together, and for the first time in a long time, Raiden did not feel completely alone. Raiden wanted to run again. He wanted to keep moving and never stop. But Kaito was sitting very still, and his calmness made Raiden want to stop too. Raiden tried to run, but his legs would not move. He had used all his strength breaking out of the silence chamber. He was very tired now. Kaito did not move. He did not try to grab Raiden or force him to do anything. He just sat there on the cold floor, waiting. He knew that sometimes the best thing a person could do for another person was to just be there. He did not need to say anything. He did not need to fix anything. He just needed to be present. Minutes passed. The lights in the broken sector flickered sometimes, and then they would go dark again. Raiden's light was the only real light in this place. It moved from red to orange to yellow and back to red again. His emotions were moving fast like a river, but slowly, very slowly, his light began to slow down. "Why are you here?" Raiden finally asked. His thought voice was quieter now. "You could get in big trouble. The academy leaders will say that you helped me escape. They will say that you are a bad influence on me. They might send you away." 2. Justin's. Kaito looked at Raiden for a long time before he answered. "Where I come from, on Earth, we have a word called friend. A real friend is someone who stays with you, even when things are very difficult. A real friend does not leave you alone when you are scared. I am here because you are my friend, and friends take care of each other." Raiden's light changed to a softer color. It was still moving, but it was not so wild anymore. "I do not understand humans very well," Raiden said. "The elders say that humans are selfish. The elders say that humans only care about themselves. But you came here, knowing that you would get in trouble. You came here to help me. That does not match what the elders say." "Maybe the elders do not know everything," Kaito said. "On Earth, my people have done many bad things. We have been selfish and mean and destructive. But we have also done beautiful things. We have created art and music and poetry. We have taken care of each other. We have given our lives to protect people we love. Maybe humans are more than one thing. Maybe we are complicated. Maybe." Raiden sat down next to Kaito. This was surprising because Verdians usually did not sit next to humans. But Raiden needed to be close to someone who understood him. Raiden needed to feel that he was not alone. "Every parting 7. Raiden's to 7. They want me to be nothing," Raiden said. His light turned blue and sad. "When I try to make my feelings go away, something inside me breaks. It is like they are asking me to stop being Raiden. They are asking me to stop being alive. But I do not want to stop being alive. I want to feel things. I want to see things. I want to think about things, and wonder about things, and be confused about things. But the elders say, that is not good. The elders say, that is wasteful." Kaito listened to every word. He understood what Raiden was saying. He understood that Raiden was struggling with two different worlds inside himself. One world told him to be empty and logical and perfect. The other world told him to be full and emotional and real. "I was scared when I first came here," Kaito said. "I was scared that everyone would look at me and see a dangerous human. I was scared that I would make everyone around me unhappy. I was scared that I did not belong. But then I met you. And I realized that being scared is not a bad thing. Being scared means that something matters to you. Being scared means that you care about things." Raiden's light began to change. It moved from blue to a purple color. Purple was a color that meant many things. Purple could mean sadness and happiness at the same time. Purple could mean confusion and understanding at the same time. Purple was a color that showed real feelings. "What happens now?" Raiden asked. "Security will find us. They will take me back to the training room. They will make me go back to the silence chamber. They will try again to make me empty." Kaito thought about this question for a long time. He did not have a good answer. He did not know what would happen. But he knew one thing. He knew that sitting here with Raiden was the right thing to do. "I do not know what will happen," Kaito said honestly. "But I know that you do not have to do this alone anymore. I will be with you. Whatever happens, you will not be alone." Raiden looked at Kaito, and something changed in his light. For the first time since he came to the academy, Raiden's light was stable. It was not flashing and changing. It was a steady, warm orange color. This color meant that Raiden was feeling safe. This color meant that Raiden was beginning to trust. "On my world," Raiden said, "we do not touch each other very much. Our bodies are made of crystal, and crystal is very delicate. We have to be very careful not to break each other, but I would like to be near you right now. I would like to feel that you are real and not a dream I am having." Kaito slowly reached out his hand. He moved very carefully. Raiden reached out his hand too. When their hands touched, Raiden's light became even brighter. Kaito's hand was warm. Raiden's hand was cool, but it was real. They were both real. They were both there. They were both alive. They sat together in the darkness of the broken sector. Security guards were still searching in other places. They had not found this corner yet. In the darkness, two friends held each other. They did not know what tomorrow would bring. They did not know if they would be separated or punished or sent away. But for now, in this moment, they were together. And that was enough. Raiden's light settled into a warm, steady glow. It stayed that way through the long hours. And Kaito sat beside his friend, not moving, not speaking, just being there. This was what it meant to be a friend. This was what it meant to care about another being, so much that you would sit in the darkness with them. This was what it meant to be human, or at least to be the best kind of human. As the hours passed, Raiden's light did not flicker or change. It stayed steady and strong. Kaito's presence had given Raiden something that the training could never give. Kaito had given Raiden the thing he needed most. Kaito had given him safety. Kaito had given him the feeling of being accepted exactly as he was, with all his feelings, and all his emotions, and all his beautiful, wild light. The night was very long. Kaito and Raiden sat together in the broken sector, and the time moved slowly. At first, Kaito did not know what to talk about. He did not want to say anything that would upset Raiden. But slowly, he realized that Raiden just wanted to hear his voice. Raiden wanted to know what Kaito thought about. Raiden wanted to know what was inside a human mind. "Where I come from," Kaito began. "There is this thing called music. Music is sounds that go together in a way that makes you feel things. Some music is happy and makes you want to move your body. Some music is sad and makes you want to cry. Some music is so beautiful that it makes you feel like your heart is going to break." Raiden listened carefully. His light moved slowly as he thought about what Kaito was saying. "On Verdian, we have what you might call light patterns," Raiden said. "But it is not the same as music. Light patterns are more logical. They follow rules. But what you describe sounds different. It sounds like emotions made into something you can hear." "That is exactly right," Kaito said. "Humans make art out of their feelings. We paint pictures because we have feelings we do not know how to say with words. We write poems because we feel things that are too big for regular talking. We sing songs because sometimes music can say what nothing else can say." Kaito started to hum a song. It was a very old human song, something his mother had taught him when he was a child. The song was about home and love and missing something far away. The melody moved up and down. It was sad, but also beautiful. Raiden's light began to move with the music. His light changed to match the feeling of the song. When the song was sad, his light was blue. When the song was hopeful, his light was yellow. Raiden was feeling the music. Raiden was understanding what Kaito meant. "This is wonderful," Raiden said. "I have never felt anything like this before. In my training, I was taught that feelings were wrong. But this feeling is not wrong. This feeling is like being alive in a way I have never been alive before." Kaito told Raiden about other human things. He told Raiden about poetry. He told Raiden about a human poet named Rumi, who lived a very long time ago. Rumi wrote about love and loss and finding yourself. Kaito recited some of the words from memory. "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Do not go back to sleep," Kaito said. This poem is saying that you should pay attention to life. You should notice the small, beautiful things. You should not just sleep through your life without really living. Raiden's light became very bright. His light became golden, which was the Verdian color for learning and understanding. "Is this how humans think all the time?" Raiden asked. "Some humans do," Kaito said. "Some humans are very logical and practical. They do not think about art and poetry very much. But other humans believe that art and poetry are the most important things. They believe that feelings and emotions are what make life worth living. I think both kinds of humans are right in their own way. I think humans are very complicated, and we have many different ways of thinking." The night continued. Kaito told Raiden about Earth. He told Raiden about oceans and mountains and forests. He told Raiden about how water could be very calm or very wild. He told Raiden about how humans sometimes went to these places when they were sad or confused because the natural world helped them feel better. He told Raiden about how his mother loved to sit by the ocean and listen to the waves. "Does it help?" Raiden asked. "Does sitting by the ocean make the sad feelings go away?" "No," Kaito said. "It does not make them go away. But it makes them feel less alone. When you sit by the ocean and watch the waves, you realize that the ocean has always been there and will always be there. The ocean does not judge you. The ocean does not ask you to be anything different. The ocean just is, and you just are. And for a moment, that is enough." Raiden understood. Raiden understood that sometimes you did not need to fix feelings. Sometimes you just needed to let them be there. As the night moved forward, Kaito also talked about being scared. He told Raiden about the fear he had felt when he left Earth. He told Raiden about how he was scared that he would never see his family again. He told Raiden about how he was scared that everyone in the academy would hate him just because he was human. "I am still scared," Kaito said honestly. "I am scared right now. I know that security is looking for us. I know that we will be found. I know that I will probably get in big trouble. I know that I might be sent back to Earth. But I am also not scared because I am here with you. And that is more important to me than anything that might happen." Raiden moved closer to Kaito. His light turned soft and warm. "I do not want you to leave," Raiden said. "I do not want to be alone again. I do not want to be alone again." "I know," Kaito said. "But sometimes we do not get to choose what happens. Sometimes things happen that we do not want. But even if bad things happen, the time we have now is real. The friendship we have is real. Nobody can take that away." The hours passed. The broken sector was cold and empty. But it did not feel empty anymore because Kaito and Raiden were there together. Kaito talked until he was tired. Raiden listened, and his light moved with the words. Raiden's light was no longer wild and confused. It was becoming calm and centered. As dawn began to come, the light from the stars started to fade. Kaito and Raiden had been sitting together for almost 12 hours. They were both very tired, but they did not want to move. "Something is different," Raiden said. "My light feels different. My thoughts feel different. I do not feel broken anymore." Kaito looked at his friend. Raiden's light was beautiful. It was a warm amber color, like the light from a fire. It was steady and strong. It was nothing like the wild, flashing light from before. "You are not broken," Kaito said. "You were never broken. You were just trying to be something you are not. Now you are becoming yourself again. And your real self is wonderful." In a few hours, security would find them. In a few hours, everything would change. But for now, in this moment, before the dawn, Kaito and Raiden sat together in peace, and Raiden's light shined steady and true, a light that would soon change everything about the academy forever. Security found them just after the sun came up. But something strange happened. The security team did not use force. They did not rush in with weapons. Instead, they moved slowly and carefully. The head of security was a Verdian named Hyun-A. Hyun-A was not very old, maybe 30 years in Verdian time. She looked at Raiden, and then at Kaito, and her light flickered with curiosity. "You have both caused a lot of trouble," Hyun-A said. But her voice was not angry. Her voice was calm and almost kind. "The whole academy has been searching for you all night, but I want to know something first before we take you to the leaders." Raiden's light did not hide anything. It showed his true feelings. "The silence chamber was breaking me." Raiden's light. Raiden said, "I could feel myself disappearing. I could feel my light dying. I could not stay in there anymore. I would have broken completely." Hyun-A nodded slowly. She looked at Kaito. "And you?" she said. "Why did you help him? You knew this would bring punishment." Kaito stood up straight. He was not afraid anymore. "Because he is my friend," Kaito said simply. "And he needed help. That is what humans do. We help our friends. We stay with people we care about. Even when it is difficult." Something changed in Hyun-A's light. Her light turned soft and understanding. "Come with me," she said. "Both of you. But not to the punishment chamber. I want to take you somewhere else first." Hyun-A took Kaito and Raiden to a special room in the academy. This room was different from the other rooms. It had windows, and you could see the stars. It had comfortable places to sit. It was designed for important meetings. Inside the room were other leaders of the academy. There was an older Verdian named Mir, who was the head teacher. There was a human named Dr. Park, who worked for the human government. There was a Verdian elder named Sang-woo, who was very old and very respected. At first, everyone was very serious and angry. They said that Kaito had broken the rules. They said that Kaito had helped Raiden escape from training. They said that this proved that humans were dangerous and should not be in the academy. But then Hyun-A showed them something. She had recorded data from Raiden's physical and mental state. When Raiden was with Kaito, his body was more stable. When Raiden was with Kaito, his mind was more focused. When Raiden was with Kaito, his light was brighter and healthier than it had ever been in the academy. "Look at these numbers," Hyun-A said. Before Raiden met Kaito, his mental stability was 62%. After meeting Kaito, his mental stability went up to 87%. His problem-solving ability increased by 23%. His creative thinking increased by 41%. These are not numbers that show damage. These are numbers that show improvement. The older Verdians looked at the numbers, but they did not seem to believe what they were seeing. The elder Sang-woo leaned forward. "This could be a temporary improvement," he said. "We cannot know if this is real or just an illusion." Then Raiden spoke. His light was steady and brave. "The training was making me less than I am," Raiden said clearly. "The training was teaching me that feelings are wrong. The training was teaching me that being real is not allowed. But Kaito showed me something different. Kaito showed me that feelings are important. Kaito showed me that being yourself is the strongest thing you can be." Dr. Park, the human leader, stood up. "On Earth," she said, "we have learned many hard lessons about this. We have learned that forcing people to be something they are not only creates suffering. We have learned that the best societies are the ones where people can be themselves and be accepted for who they are. The room was quiet for a long time. Everyone was thinking about what they had heard. Finally, the teacher Mir spoke. "Perhaps we have been wrong," Mir said slowly. "Perhaps our training methods have been too harsh. Perhaps we have been afraid of feelings because we did not understand them. But this young human seems to understand what we have missed." Sang-woo still looked very unhappy. "This is too radical a change," he said. "We cannot just change everything because of one young Verdian. What about all the other young Verdians? What about the traditions we have kept for thousands of years?" "What about them?" Kaito said. Kaito stood up and everyone looked at him. "What about all the Verdians who have been hurt by the training? What about all the young ones who have felt broken like Raiden felt broken? If your traditions are hurting people, then maybe those traditions need to change." The elder Sang-woo's light turned very dark. He did not like being challenged by a human. But before he could say anything, Mir spoke again. "The human is right," Mir said. "The data is right. Raiden is right. We need to change. I propose that we create a new kind of training, a training that allows young Verdians to feel their emotions instead of suppressing them. A training that Kaito and Raiden can help us design." Hyune stepped forward. "I agree," she said. "And I volunteer to help lead this new program. I have seen how much better Raiden is when he is not being forced to be empty. I want to give this chance to other young Verdians." Dr. Park nodded. "Earth will support this," she said. "We will send more human teachers to the academy. They can help the Verdian teachers learn how to work with emotions in a positive way." Sang-woo stood up. His light was dark and angry, but he did not speak. He left the room without saying anything. Some of the other old leaders left with him. But many of the younger leaders stayed. They looked at the data again. They looked at Raiden's stable, bright light. They listened to what Kaito had to say about human emotions. A decision was made. The academy would change. The harsh training would end. A new kind of training would begin. Later, after all the meetings were over, Kaito and Raiden were allowed to leave the meeting room. They walked through the halls together. Raiden's light was very bright now. It was the brightest it had ever been. "We did it," Raiden said. "We really did it. We changed everything." Kaito smiled. "We did not do it alone," he said. "Hyune helped us. Mir helped us. Dr. Park helped us. Sometimes, you cannot change things by yourself. Sometimes, you need many people who all believe that change is possible." As they walked through the halls of the academy, other young Verdians watched them. Some of the young Verdians' lights flickered with curiosity. They had heard what happened. They had heard that maybe there was a different way to be a Verdian. Maybe there was a way to feel things and still be strong. Maybe the training did not have to be so painful. The academy was going to change. And it all started with one human who sat beside his scared friend and said, "You are not alone."